Welcome everybody. I'm praying that we're live here. All right, it looks like we are. So thank you for joining me. We're just taking a look around Niagara Falls. I did this a couple of weeks ago, and we looked through the tourist area first and then followed by heading down to the falls. So I thought today we'd give it a different kind of view. So thanks for joining. I know JJ's Mix came in early. Ace is here. Pattaya MD, thank you for supporting. My love Kristen, of course, is in here. And I'm going to get moving in just a second. Colleen watching from Hamilton, thank you very much. So what you can see here is I'm giving you a little bit of a look at towards the falls. We're going to walk by them in a few minutes, and what you might have seen in TV and movies will start to become a little more real for you. There's a lot of action out here. These Niagara Falls provide a lot of power for at least Ontario, and I don't even know who else they sell it to. And then you can see I live in a wonderful tourist city. There's lots of hotels, lots of attractions, and things like this. So hopefully you'll enjoy what we're looking at today. I'll head my way over towards Niagara Falls, but we'll just look around at different things as we go. There's lots of people out enjoying themselves. I mean, hopefully everybody's social distancing as they can. We got a lot of bikes out. There's a lot of nice cars in Niagara that you'll likely see coming up and down the Niagara Parkway. People visiting, having a good time, walking around. Got some people enjoying having a little bit of fun here. I don't know if you got, yeah, you're having a little picnic. That's fantastic. I walked by them right before I came on and said hello. Thank you guys. Say hello to everybody on YouTube.
Hello.
So hopefully we've got a decent audience. Where are you all from?
From Vaughan.
From Vaughan? Okay, so from not far, and you're just down here visiting.
Yeah, we just came to enjoy the day.
That's
what
what
to do. So.
That's wonderful. Do any of you have Instagrams or something you want to shout out and let people find you?
No, it's alright. I don't
Yeah?
really need a shout out, but.
Okay, nice meeting you guys. Enjoy your picnic. So long. Vaughan is a town that's just in the northwest corner of Toronto, which is about 2 hours away from where we are. Maybe an hour and a half. But it's nice to see friendly people enjoying their time. Getting used to this gimbal still. One of these days I will do a review of the gimbal that I'm using. It's just an IQ Motion one. It's not very expensive, about $100 Canadian. And it keeps the picture smooth. You saw it in the thumbnail of the video. It's not going to be much to see for a second, except for you know, the hotels and the town, until we get by this area, and we'll be right into the falls. Hopefully I'll take my time and I won't be panting and out of breath like last time. Not in the best shape of my life, but we'll see. Dad's Journal, thanks for coming in. It's a really gorgeous thing to see, and I know we've all been indoors for a long time, so I thought I'd give us something outdoors at least to look at. I can keep away from everybody and stay my 6 feet apart easily. I'm just by myself down here. Maybe we'll get a little more of a look right now. Getting closer to the falls, you can see that. I don't know how well you can see, but you don't want to swim in there. We'll keep walking. more people out than you would have expected when I chose to do this on Monday instead of on the weekend, because it would be less busy than you might expect. Give us a little more of a look in case we can actually see anything over here. Just a little bit more of a look as we continue to walk. Really something else, all of this. As we walk along, I'll just remind you, if you haven't already subscribed, my name is Kaye, and I do a lot of YouTube tutorials, I do product reviews, and I help smaller YouTubers grow their channel. I do a lot of live streaming, so hopefully you'll consider subscribing. More people here enjoying themselves, doing a photo shoot. Want a place to take a million selfies, this is it. And look at just the sheer force of that water. It's really something else. Becomes much more attractive to look at in another minute from here, but you can see how far this goes. And this water has been falling over these falls for basically ever. A little crowded over here. Lots and lots of people enjoying themselves. We can catch for a view here. Try to keep social distancing here as we're supposed to. I should be able to get a couple of feet away from everybody in a second here. I don't know if you guys can catch that on the screen, but you know, occasionally you can see a rainbow here right in the falls. It looks like you guys can see it, so I hope that you can, because it's really a wonderful sight. This is the Horseshoe Falls. Look forward to where we're headed. Really just something spectacular, right? Again, it's one of the seven wonders of the world, and I'm so lucky because I live here, so I can come and see this whenever I want. I did another live stream a couple of weeks ago. By the way, I know it's very windy, so forgive me, I can't do much about that today. But if you wanted to watch another live stream that I did, I went through the tourist town and I came the other way. But today I thought it'd be nice just to focus on the falls. We've got gorgeous weather. You can see the sky, there's barely a cloud. And it's really something else to look at. So I'll just keep walking. Yasmin Wu, thanks for coming in. I was hoping you'd show. And then this is Jesse. Yeah, I'm not coming to New York today. Mr. Barry, yeah, I'm so happy that you guys get to see that. It's not always that it's so clear, but look at that gorgeous rainbow right in the middle of everything. And look at the sheer force of that water. Again, just something else, right? Just gonna keep walking. I'll turn for a second. You can just see, again, the city that I live in. We've got casinos and hotels and tons of attractions and stuff. Another day, I will go through the tourist area so that you can see all that Niagara Falls has to offer. But in the meantime, you know, there's a little bit of a look. You can understand why it's so attractive. Some people choose Niagara Falls as like a favorite vacation destination, and you can see why. Like I keep saying, I'm lucky I live here. And we just picked the most gorgeous day to do this. So I'm thankful for that. As we keep looking, there are boat tours and things that go through the water. Not right here, but farther up. You can do jet boat tours and things like that. And I should mention as well, so I'm in Canada, obviously, and the Canadian side is where the honeymoon capital of the world is, where, you know, here in Niagara, where all the touristy stuff. I bet they have a little bit in the States, and I haven't been over there to really see what they've got to offer on the other side. But you can off in the distance see the casino building, Seneca, and then we've got Falls View and Casino Niagara here. If I do give you a little more of a look around, maybe you can see off in the distance as well the Niagara Sky Wheel, which is a monster Ferris wheel. I've been lucky to be on there a few times. And this one tower looks kind of similar to the Space Needle or the CN Tower or things like that that are found around the world. That's the Skylon Tower. And they have a revolving restaurant in there. Kristen and I have gone there. And hope to be going again soon when things start to open up around here. There we go. As I keep walking, hopefully you guys can still see that, but we get this fantastic look at this rainbow. My gosh, I've never even seen one so clear. And it, you know, it's so close, you feel like you could almost not reach out and touch it, but it's just something else to really see. Ain't that where Superman fell in? That's very possible. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I forget that. Kristen, my love, of course, is in the chat. Probably going to go just for about a half an hour, 40 minutes today. And like I said, today I just wanted to focus right on the falls themselves, as opposed to the tourist area. And I'll do some more live streaming where I'll head to the tourist area and give you a real look around what's happening there as well. There's so much to see and do around here. And like I said, I'm very lucky. I grew up in Toronto, but Niagara Falls is just over an hour, maybe an hour and a half away, at least from where I grew up in the west end of Toronto. And there's just tons and tons of stuff to do. So I'm very lucky. I've been able to come down here, got a little bit of history here as well, and been living down here for about 4 years now. And it's just, you know, a wonderful place to visit. It's a nice place to live. But I thought I would share it with you. And isn't this interesting? It looks like the rainbow wants to follow me. The mist that comes off the falls, you can see, not that anybody cares about this, but you can see these you know, puddles on the ground. That's just, the mist sometimes almost feels like rain. And as you drive by, you often have to put your windshield wipers on the car because of it and this and that. So that was the Horseshoe Falls over there. And now you get a much different and even more spectacular look at this. And then we have the American Falls, which I'm kind of walking towards. And that's the Rainbow Bridge over there, where I've probably 150, somewhere between 100 and 200 times crossed over into the States. And I don't think I've ever had a bad experience over there. As a matter of fact, that casino that you can see that's right behind the American Falls there, that's Seneca in Niagara Falls, New York. And Kristen and I went over there and actually had some luck. So that was wonderful. We went over there just to kind of celebrate an anniversary. and we ended up just hanging out at the casino. We don't gamble or anything like that, but it's fun to just go over and play a few dollars and just have some fun. So hopefully you guys are enjoying these views. I really couldn't have picked a better day, except for the wind. I say all the time when we're talking about YouTube channels and the other things I do and trying to help smaller YouTubers grow their channels and grow their networks and things like that, I really enjoy following, we call them small YouTubers, but it's not an accurate term. It's just, you know, accounts with less than 10,000 subscribers that are on the way up, let's say. A more accurate term might be content creators. But I enjoy following some of the newcomers, people with young channels like this, and the reason why is because without all the extra polish from movies and television and things like that, I feel like you get a real look at different parts of the world and different things that people have to show and tell. I enjoy it. Hopefully you do too. There's another look back at the Horseshoe Falls. Off on the top right there, you can see that's a ride. That's a theme park we have right next door, which is called Marineland. Fairly popular, well known, I think. That's one of the things you can come and explore. Probably takes a full day to see that place. A lot of people will come for the weekend, especially from the States. It's fairly easy to cross under most circumstances. I know we're in a different situation now. Got another photo shoot or some selfies happening. They've got all kinds of stuff down here too. You can zip line. I had not done zip lining until just last year. We did it in a different area called Blue Mountain, which is very popular here in Ontario, Canada. I had never been there in my life, and we didn't do any vlogging or anything like that. I did do a hotel review of the resort that we stayed in. I've got a hotel review I still have to put up here. Thinking about doing an entire channel for this stuff. I've already got it registered and started, called Niagara Insider. And the theme is obviously I live here now. While I still continue to learn, I can show everybody all the things there are in Niagara so that they can get the most value for their time and money when they visit. I'll see if I can scroll down to this, you can see the zip line area here. Still getting to know my gimbal, so forgive me. There we go, that's the bottom of it. Let me see if I can help you follow it up. I don't know how good of a look I'm giving you there. Anyway, that's one of the things to do. And they've got all kinds of shops, gift shops, restaurants and things. Turn around and just show you one area. Again, some of the hotels we've got around here and things like that. There's good transit here, so it's easy to get around. Of course, you got cabs and Uber and all that other stuff. I think Lyft's down here too, if you needed to get around. There's lots of these boat tours, and they're of different kinds. I did have the opportunity, a friend of mine was getting married, and we came down here and went to one of the jet boat tours. I don't know how many people fit on these jet boats, probably 30, 50, 60, something like that. But these things just whip all down, not quite here because I think it's too dangerous here, but up a little bit farther they zip down, and you really get a unbelievable experience with that. I know there's other parts of the world where those kind of things exist, but it's yet another thing to do here. Just gonna keep walking for a while and I'll head back. Yeah, that rainbow seems to want to follow me. That's great. I keep saying, but I did do one of these live streams a couple weeks ago. The replay is still on my channel. You can have a look at that. I went through a little bit of the tourist area. I decided to pull a different maneuver today and have two phones with me, because the last time I did this, I had the hardest time reading the chat, and I couldn't engage with everybody very well. I'm gonna give it a shot now, but my dual phone system doesn't seem to be working. Look at this nonsense. I don't know if you can see the screen on that, but it says connect to the internet. It's supposed to be feeding off the other one. Give you a better look at the American Falls here. I'll try to do this in the winter at some point too. It's really spectacular to see, like, all the rocks and rubble at the bottom of the falls there gets covered with snow and ice, and that's also something to see. And at nighttime, I'll do this at night one time, and the electric company is down here, like, that looks after the electricity for all of Ontario, and then I don't know who they sell it to, probably all kinds, but they shoot lights onto the falls and they change color and this and that, so you can imagine how beautiful that is to look at. And there's fireworks down here, and they're very frequent. They used to do it a few times a week, and lately it seems like they've been doing it every day, at least in the summer. So I'm gonna try to catch up here a little bit. IMD still in the house. Jeff Lepard came in, thanks for that. Yeah, forgive me, I'm so far behind here. My now I got a phone here that's kind of starting to work, but I'm way behind. Stare at this for a second. The Cathanap TV, I hope I'm getting that somewhat right. Sean Williams, thanks for coming in. Christine Tampus, thanks for coming in. Miss Little Gastol, thanks for coming in as well. You guys, for those of you who know what I'm talking about, feel free to connect with each other. A lot of the live streaming that I do has to do with connecting YouTubers together, finding quality connections, people who are going to come back, watch your videos and support you and things like that. I've been very lucky to have a lot of generous supporters. Spectacular view, Yasmin Wu says, yep. Yeah, the rainbow's really something else. I wasn't expecting that. Hopefully you guys can still see that here. I'll get moving again in a moment. I just want to catch up on my my messages. I don't mean to miss everything. When we're out and the sun is so wonderful, I've got myself a I got a hat and sunglasses and stuff, and it's helping a little bit. Yeah, the zip line was something else. Oh no, Jeff's back on the roof. Well, there's more free beans in his future then. That's fantastic to know. Ty MD, thanks for hanging out so long. Leon Legendary Productions, I'm happy to see you. It's been a little while. Yeah, Kristen is reminding me, like, so she says she loves when she drives by the falls. So I did a live stream a couple of weeks ago, and you can check that out, similar to what we're doing here, but I went through the tourist area first and ended up at the falls. Wasn't nearly as nice a day as it is today. But Kristen also did a video on her channel. That's my girlfriend, my love, of course, and she described her drive to work every day. She lives in the downtown area, and she gets to drive by this every single day on her way to and from work, or if she chooses to anyway. Yeah, Sean Williams, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I just love this stuff. There you go, Niagara Power Generation, I think it's called, the power company. And they sell, like I said, all over the place. JD Knight 7, thanks for coming in. Yeah, it does look nice. I love this place. So it looks like I'm caught up here, and we'll see. Maybe I'll keep walking a little bit. I don't know how much more there is to see this way, but we'll just get more of a view. Got that rainbow bridge over there. Now, somebody was talking to me yesterday, and forgive me because I don't remember who it was. I was doing some test streams because I wanted to see what app I was going to use. I think I'm using Streamlabs right now, right? I had a struggle getting this thing going. Every time I use Streamlabs, I have to start it. It looks like it works, but it doesn't work. I have to shut it down and then start it again, and then it works. So I have no explanation for that yet, but it doesn't matter. But when we were talking last night, we were saying about how, the Canada side has the nicer view because we're looking at the United States right now. That's Niagara Falls, New York there. And I keep mentioning the casino, but you can see that green half-looking bridge there. And that's a lookout that they have where you can go apparently and be able to see from there if you're in the States and didn't want to cross over to Niagara Falls, Canada. But you can see how we really are very lucky to have all of this to see. But it's a wonderful place to live too. I come from Toronto, which obviously is a world-class city. We've got, 5 million or 9 million people, whatever it is now. And it's becoming much like Chicago or Boston. When you have a town that's on the water, it grows out like a horseshoe. And as it continues to grow, you're basically just piling more people into the metropolitan area. And so Toronto has its own thing. I do love it. I always will. But the one thing that I can say about Niagara is there's still a little bit of a small town mentality in areas. So you find a lot of friendly people. It's not unreasonable to go to even a Home Depot or any other, like, let's say hardware store or something like that, see a couple of guys with their trucks that don't know each other just having a conversation in the parking lot. And everybody in the grocery stores, not everybody, but you know what I mean, says have a nice day, things like that, just the little pleasantries that make the difference. So it's something that I really enjoy here. Let you guys give me a idea of what you'd rather I do. I can keep going the way I'm going now, and we can have a look in that direction where the Rainbow Bridge is, and on the Canadian side there's just shops and stuff like that to see some touristy stuff, or I can head back along the falls there. So let's say one for heading more towards the town, or two for going back towards the falls and giving a closer look there if you want. This stabilizer that I have, Yasmin, is from a company called IQ Motion. I think it's exclusive to Best Buy, but I could be wrong about that. That's a big electronics store in North America. I don't know how far across the globe they travel. They do online ordering and all this other stuff too. Of course, you can get all kinds of gimbals on Amazon. I will do a review of this gimbal, but I wanted to give it a try for a little while and make sure that I know what I'm talking about before I say much. So I need a couple more votes. One, I'm going to keep going the direction I was walking, or two, I'm going to go back towards the falls. Doesn't matter to me, but I'd rather give you guys the view you want to see while I'm out here. Is the one thing I like about live streams, is it's interactive, right? You guys can tell me what you want. We'll make a democracy out of it. I didn't know that it used to freeze over. See, Kristen's lived here her whole adult life, basically, and so she knows a lot more than I would. But that's interesting that somebody would, you know, you'd be able to have that freeze over and walk down there and do who knows what else. Well, now we're evenly split. I think I got 2 1s and 2 2s. I'll keep walking for now, and if you guys tell me to turn back, I'll just turn back. Let's see what else is here. They got lots of park around here where people can get together and enjoy themselves and stuff. If you can imagine, all of this is packed every day when they have fireworks going on. So they were doing it once every couple of days, 3 times a week, 4 times a week, something like that. And last year it seemed that they were doing it every day. So now they're not doing it because, of course, they don't want people all together, right? We're not supposed to be doing that. It's easy for me to be out and do this right now. I need some exercise, that's undebatable, but it's wonderful to have some fresh air. It's very easy for me to stay a few feet away from everybody for now. We got news today in Ontario, or yesterday or whenever it was. I wasn't on it. I think Kristen was the one who mentioned. Somebody mentioned that no haircuts until the end of August or something like that. So that's unfortunate. My quarantine hair has had the biscuit, as we say. I finally broke down and bought a hat the other day. I know there's bigger problems to deal with in the world, but you know, it's interesting how this year is turning out. Just gonna chill for 1 second. Kristen's lived here since 1995. Oh, 4 2s? Okay. I'm gonna head back. See, the thing is, like, so I'll show you where I'm headed. This is the top of the zip line, right? And there's a hotel in the background there, Marriott, or Sheridan. Sorry, Sheridan. Let's see if I can better look. But the truth is, there's not that much spectacular to see. It's more buildings, and you know, there's shops and stuff. But I plan to do tons of this stuff. I plan to be back here as often as everybody can stand. So yeah, no salons until August. I was overdue by a month to have a haircut anyway before this started. Can I swap my camera without wrecking everything here? I don't know if I can. There you go. Hope you like eye candy. Go. Lots more people out than I expected, but you know, people enjoying themselves, having a good time, this, that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I consider the idea of doing this on another channel that I've got it set up for Niagara. Maybe I'll go every morning and do a walk in a different area of Niagara Falls. The whole city's nice to see. You know, it's got some history to it, some really great history actually. You know, and then there's its modern things. But we've got a tourist area, we've got a vibrant downtown area. There's lots to see here. Somewhat of a diverse city. Not to mention, you know, Toronto is one of the most multicultural cities in the world. I think it's the most multicultural, which is where I grew up. It's only an hour and a half from here. So never mind the fact that tourists come from all over to visit Niagara Falls. Even, you know, the residents come from all over. As it is, I've moved. I left Toronto to come down here. It's possible to find a 3-bedroom house down here for anywhere from $300,000 to $400,000 if it's a little bit older, and all the new developments are coming in at $400,000 plus. But it's still a lot more affordable than Toronto, where you're lucky to find anything under $1 million. That's Canadian, of course, so call it 700,000 American. The average price in Toronto floats around the 1,000 mark lately. Not that I know anything about real estate, I'm just saying. And chill for another second here. See if I can give you a good look at the Horseshoe Falls again. Looks like I've got a plan to upgrade phones in 2 months from now. I've been waiting. And Kristen came up with a little bit of an idea yesterday. See how that works. Not that it matters, but it'll help me do a little bit of a better job when I'm out here. I can read easier while I'm filming. Get back here. That's a dead-on shot. That's a wonderful look at the Horseshoe Falls there. Yeah, Yasmin Wu, no haircuts. Salons are not allowed to open. I did show the Skyline Tower. Let me see if I can take another look here. Starting to get the hang of this gimbal. There we go. So you see a bunch of hotels beside it there, right? There's a lot to Niagara Falls, but the Skyline Tower is you know, similar to the Space Needle or CN Tower, you might think, but it's got a revolving restaurant in there. And I said earlier, but Kristen and I have been there for we go for New Year's. Maybe it was New Year's. I thought it was an anniversary, but it was New Year's. We've been together for quite some time now, and been able to, we've got our pick of a few favorite restaurants, but we have also explored a few different ones. Hopefully everybody's having a good time connecting as well. Chris, thanks for coming in. Scott, thank you for coming in and for saying that, your favorite vacation spot. Yeah, it's unfortunate this year's turning out different for a lot of people, but oh, KPJP, thanks for coming in. I don't mean to miss anybody if I did. I'm oh, Georgia Bulldogs, thanks for coming in. Atlanta, Georgia, yeah, well, as a matter of fact, I have family there. I got an uncle that lives in Atlanta. Used to live in Tampa, Florida, and ended up moving up there. They were going to come up and visit this summer, and unfortunately that is being delayed. But it is what it is, right? Continue along this way again. I'll do the same thing as last time. I'm just going to go until the battery dies and cuts me off. That way we can have as much of a look at this as we want to. Very lucky that I can come and hang out here and see this whenever I want. Kristen does some photography. She has many different favorite areas around Niagara Falls that she'll go and take photos. Some of her stuff is on Adobe stock. We got a bit of a better view in a second when I get by these trees. It's not far. I'd love to know what you would like to see the next time I'm out live streaming, because this time I decided just to focus on the falls. But I'm happy to go anywhere in town and have more of a look around. The mist is getting crazy. Let me know if the mist gets on the lens too much and interferes with the picture for you guys. I can't tell. It's all over my sunglasses though. See if I can do something about that. There, our rainbow friend is back. If you can see it. It's a little fainter now. As I go by the American Falls, maybe you can see that still. That's something else, eh? What a gorgeous day. There's barely a cloud in the sky. But it's windy. I don't know how much that's affected our enjoyment here. Happy for everybody to be connecting and conversating in the chat as well. Yeah, New Year's Eve. Oh, Canada once, Georgia Bulldogs went to Vancouver. Yeah, it's something else over there. I've never really been anywhere in Canada outside of Ontario, where I live, or I have always lived. Oh, sincerely, Lucy, thanks for coming in. Just giving a little bit of a look around Niagara Falls today. I did this a couple weeks ago, so if you guys want to see something else, I won't be out again for a while, but I did go a couple weeks ago and I showed a little bit of the tourist town. Today I went the opposite way, so the direction that I started walking, if you kept going, I was doing the reverse of what I did last time. This time I just wanted to focus on the falls because it's such an unbelievably gorgeous day, and I think I'm really able to show it in all of its glory, if you want to put it that way. Hopefully you guys can still see that rainbow over there. And then if you don't mind, I'd love to know what you'd like to see next time. The best idea for that, if you don't mind, is afterwards, hopefully the comments are enabled already. You can leave me a comment on this video at the bottom, or if you go and watch the other one, leave it there as well. And I always go through every comment, of course. And I'd love to be able to do streams that you'd like to see. So we have a vibrant tourist area, and then you know, of course, one of the 7 wonders of the world right here, the Niagara Falls, is spectacular to look at. But I'd love to show you different things. We can always go back and have a look at these streams if we want to. I'd love to show you something that you'd be happy with. Sincerely, Lucy. Yeah, this thing with the premieres and with the lives, because the chat seems the same, I understand. Yeah, thinking this was a premiere of a video, but no, I'm live right now. Yeah, I just wanted to do this. I did it a couple weeks ago and it went fairly well, and I've got a new system, so it's really hard sometimes for those of you who live stream on the app when you're outdoors. I'm using Streamlabs now. I've tried the YouTube app, and I've tried Prism last night. I gave a little test to. So not that it really matters, but I have a small phone. Mine is an original iPhone SE. I actually have 2 of them. They're many years old. It's not the new iPhone SE. The screen is so small, you know, it's fine as a phone, but to try to read the chat while we live stream is such a struggle. So what I did today, I brought a second one with me, and I'm just tethering my own Wi-Fi so that I could just follow the chat while we go. So I'm going to keep walking for a little while. Like I said, I'm just going to go until the battery cuts us off today again. That's a good way to always end. So I just want you to know I really appreciate you coming and having a look at this. You know, I just decided I needed some exercise. I wanted to come outside. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous day. So why not go live and just show everybody something so wonderful. Look at the energy that goes on at the bottom of that waterfall. Good golly. This is what powers, you know, some of Ontario and a lot of other places. I don't know who they sell electricity to. And they buy from other places as well, but Niagara Falls is an energy producer, and this is where it comes from. So it's interesting to see, and it's interesting to know that kind of thing. Just show you this building up here for a second. This is where the light is shone onto the falls at night. I've got my last battery warning now, so it's not going to be long before we cut off, so you'll forgive me for not exiting with grace, but I'd rather keep this going as long as I possibly can for everybody. Give you a real look at this. So if you enjoyed it, I hope you'll consider subscribing. I do a lot of other things as well. I do a lot of YouTube tutorials, product reviews, and I help smaller YouTubers grow their channels. So there's a small variety of things to see here. I have several channels. I have some that I own, some that I manage for other people. So I hope you'll consider subscribing so that I can show you many different things. I'm just assuming my lens has got to be covered in water by now. I can feel the mist all over me. It's almost like rain today. There's that rainbow again. Hope you guys can see that a little bit. So, by the way, Kristen, it's maybe I can get you to come and pick me up again. It's just as easy for me to get Kristen to drop me off and do this thing for a little while and then come and pick me up after. So she's going to come and get me shortly. I've had my last battery warning already. So when it cuts, it cuts. But, you know, as we grow and as we follow more and more people on YouTube, it becomes harder and harder to support everybody as much as you might like. So I appreciate every moment that you spend with me on YouTube. And hopefully I can bring some value in every video that I put out and every stream that I do. So we can at least be entertained by something and probably learn together as well. Isn't it something else to live in a city like this? Look at that thing. Couldn't have picked a better day. Yes, I don't know who works down there. I guess you can go and look. That's another observatory or something like that, right? Forgive me because I'm still learning while I'm here. I haven't done all the touristy things. But yeah, I guess you go down from this building on top, and then you can head down there and have a better look. So that must be something else. I'll try to take you down there if things open up sometime. Do I pronounce that right if I say size access vlog? Thank you for mentioning that. It is wonderful, isn't it? That rainbow was following me around earlier. That's because obviously the mist from the falls is so prominent, and I'm on just the most gorgeous day you could imagine. And the temperature out here, it's not hot. Like, I'm in a t-shirt, there's people wearing light jackets and things like that because the wind, but it's certainly not cold. I'm very lucky to live here, so for all of you mentioning how beautiful it is, yes, I'll tell you right now. Like I said, Kristen did a video as well that is of her drive to work, and she drives right along here every day when she goes to work. Can you imagine what that's like to see that every single day? What a positive start to your day. But she did a great job describing that. And then, oh, I don't know if you'll actually see Kristen pick me up because my battery might die before she gets here. But we'll see. We only live 10 minutes away from here probably. Give you another look at the American Falls. Oh, Cancer, you're in the house. Are you? Yeah, thank you for coming in. I hope you get to use that clip that I did the other day. I'd love to see what you come up with. Isn't it just something else to think about living in a place like this? Yeah, that rainbow's so close you almost feel like you could, I don't think you could reach out and touch it, but you feel like you could throw something. All those birds seem to like it. Look at that. I don't know how they're not disturbed by all the mist coming off the falls, but to each their own, I suppose. Oh, good. Okay. Size access vlog. Thank you for coming in. And then, you know, I'll just take a second and remind you, if you haven't already, I'd love it if you'd give me a thumbs up. We all need that as YouTubers. And if you haven't already, I hope you'll consider subscribing. I do a lot of other things on my channel. I plan to do a lot of this live streaming. I may even start a channel just for this kind of stuff because I love Niagara Falls and it's got so much to offer. I do YouTube tutorials. I help smaller YouTubers grow their channel. And I do a lot of different live streaming, all kinds of different stuff. I like to spend time with my family. I like to go out and explore different areas. So I hope you'll subscribe. And I've got a small network of channels, some that I manage for other people and some that I own myself. So I've got a lot of different things that I like to share. Right now, you know, for who can visit where, and I know things are different for everybody all over the world, but at some point, you know, 2020 will be behind us. It will go down in the history books as you know, something else, but eventually life will get back to somewhere close to what we consider normal. Then we can all go out and explore different areas and stuff like that. But you know, I come out here because, like I keep saying, Niagara Falls has so much to offer. and I really enjoy living here now that I've been here for many years. Been here for 4 years. I have some history down here anyway. I used to do other things here. I used to rent out nightclubs and throw parties for teenagers down here in Niagara, back when I was a crazy, silly, fresh DJ. That was fun. That went on for a short while. And I did a lot of, when I was a DJ, I did a lot of touring in the States. Nothing spectacular, no flights, but I did get to play all over the northeastern United States. Probably been over there anywhere from 100 to 200 times. I lost count at some point. 500 tour dates probably over the years. That's a while back. I haven't done that in quite some time, but I always had to come through Niagara Falls to get there. So there's enough history here that I have personally. Yeah, I'd love it if I was lucky enough to have Kristen come by before that runs out. We'll see. Whatever's meant to happen always does, right? Take that line from one of my favorite TV shows. Like I keep saying, one of these days I'll do a review of the gimbal that I'm using, so you can see how I'm getting these shots here. Yasmin wants to see Kristen. Actually, I keep forgetting. So Kristen's birthday's on Friday, and we're going to do a dual live stream. I'll go live at 6 p.m. Eastern, and then she will go live right after me. I'll just go on for like an hour or something. We use StreamYard, let people come in, and have cake and presents and all that stuff, and it should be a fun time. So hopefully you can join us for that. We've already got them scheduled, both on my channel and on Kristen's channel. Yeah, there she is. So we'll say hi, and I'll wrap it up pretty quickly. Oh, she's gonna keep going. All right. She wants to turn around. She doesn't like to, oh, it's a single lane there, so she doesn't want to hold up the traffic. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll keep walking. And I'm gonna meet her over on the other side. I don't know whether my battery's gonna last long enough to catch her again or not. So forgive me for that. Far more important that I give you guys this wonderful view of Niagara Falls than if I was to walk. It'd be more convenient for her getting me, but lots more people out than I expected, but there's a better idea probably to come out today than it would have been on Sunday, or especially Saturday. Would have been a lot busier down here. Would not have had such an easy time walking around. And hopefully it won't be long before I show you something like this again. Next time I'll go out to the tourist area, start looking at that. But if you do want to see a little bit of that, I did a live stream a couple of weeks ago, and you can find that on my channel as well, where I started in the tourist area and then came down to the falls. So that's interesting to look at. Hopefully you'll enjoy it if you do. See what I mean? The rainbow follows me. Lots of selfies and things like that going on. As you can imagine, it's a wonderful place for that. I used to argue with people. Are you allowed to call it a selfie if you don't take it yourself? I say yes. Seems to be most people say no.